understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take you for your money, whatever spring. And I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. 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 Walked away to what you thought was real. You took everything that I had. Yeah. Walked away, but you left one thing behind. You're wondering just what that is. Yes, you are. Well, the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. When the world comes down, I'll be there. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. We're gonna make a little love down by the water. Maybe I'm the sun, maybe I'm a daughter when the music man calls. That's when I gotta play. So I burn for the things I never had. I'm burning with hate, with love. Spin around, round. 'Cause as a boy I had a dream. Carry it with me today. Yes, I do. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. When the walls come tumbling down, I'll be there. When the world stops spinning around, Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way that music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the lands of the new. Oh, na 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 na. That I have lost my old friend. Got the sunset off the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must go back before it's too late. You're afraid, you're feeling alone. Time and space can never unfold. The holidays can ring in your fear. The ghostly embrace can only mean tears. And I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back for lands of blue. Oh, na 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 na. Sitting at the lake, I'm feeling confused, but I had my guitar, so I played this blues. But I'm afraid, what might be true, that I might never be back again. Seems to me that I've lost my friend. Got the sunset off the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must be back before it's too late. Before it's too late. Someone to take me down at night. Someone to make my day. New revelation fills my soul. Oh, I can waste away. You distracting my attention. You're all that's on my mind. You not looking for perfection, but you're too hard to find. Now the first night is coming, and I know what to do. You know that nothing feels sweeter than someone else. Where did my color go? Got your head in the sand. You can't be in control using a powerful hand. I wanna be you, I wanna see you. Don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. You're gonna push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, hide a little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue, yeah. All right. Cat learns to ring a bell. Rat gets free from the maze. We can be taught to love. We've got to learn to wait. I wanna see you, I wanna be you. Don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. You're gonna push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, add a little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue, yeah. I wanna be, I wanna see, don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. Push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, add a little color, it's black and white and blue. Yeah, black and white and blue. You're gonna black and white on the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, add a little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue. Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the lands of the new. Oh, na 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 na. I have lost my friend. Got the sunset set off the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must go back before it's too late. You're afraid you're feeling alone. Time and space can never afford. The holidays can ring in your fear. The ghostly embrace can only mean tears. And I've got nowhere to choose. I'm gonna start running back for lands of blue. Oh, na 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 na. At the lake, I'm feeling confused, but I had my guitar, so I played this blues. But I'm afraid, what might be true, that I might never be back again. Seems to me that I have lost my way. Got the sunset off the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. Race me back before it's too late. Before it's too late. What have I done? Ooh, what have you seen? Early at night, got in the fight, in the candlelight, looking through the screen. Now what have I done? What have you seen? You know there's no future in life when a person has come in between. Jamie's gone, Jamie's gone. Can't look back and now he feels so strong. Jamie's gone, Jamie's gone. Left last night and now it's been so long. What have I done? What have you seen? There was nothing to say, took her away, and I feel the pain, made love in vain. Oh, 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 what have I done? What have you seen? She knows there's no future in life when a person has come in between. Jamie's gone, Jamie's gone. Can't look back and now he feels so strong. Jamie's gone, You're a million miles away. Yeah. Jamie's gone. Jamie's gone. Can't look back, and now he feels so strong. Jamie's gone. Jamie's gone. Left last night, and now it seems so long. Jamie, come on, Jamie. Yeah. And now you feel so strong. Jamie, come on, Jamie. Yeah, left last night, and now it seems so long. Me that I've lost my old friend. Got the sunset on the highway again.
All right, we made it again. Sorry we're late, everybody. What's going on? Oh, and Jen's bringing my dinner just as I come online here. There you go. I thought we would be already into our first presentation, but that didn't work out. So how's it going, everybody? We made it again. So hey, listen. Thank you for the shout out for Jamie's Gone. I think that's so cool that somebody likes that song. That's unbelievable. I love when people talk about like the music and they actually like it. They didn't like it in the '90s when I brought it out, but actually I can't take any credit for that. I was just a bass player for that. The singer and the guitar player were the core of that band, and they wrote all the lyrics and the music, and they wrote the lyrics and music for Jay. That song was already made before I came into the band, and I took over from a bass player they kicked out. So even though I played it on the CD, and yes, there is a CD, I actually no, I didn't play that song on the CD. I only played 5 tracks on that CD. But anyway, that doesn't matter. How's it going, everybody? We made it here. I see Ray Sewell on there. Ray Sewell. What I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Rysel, maybe it's Rysel. I apologize. But him and I spent about 20 minutes on the phone regarding his setup and how to get focus and gain and offset and all that. It was a lot of fun. So glad you made it, Rysel. Glad you made it. Pretty cool. But we're here tonight, and tonight we're going to be talking about coordinate systems and celestial catalogs. And some of you may have seen both of these presentations before, but it's a new year. It's time to get back to the basics again, and we're going to be starting again. This is the first one. Moving forward, we're going to be pretty pointed in the topics, at least on Friday nights. And Wednesday nights, we are booked up with guests until March 1st. So, I mean, and we have 2 waiting in the wings for after that, maybe 3. So we might be booked up till NEAF. So it's going to be pretty cool. So let's go over the sponsors as we normally do. And we'll do that really quick here. and then we'll get on to the presentations. So here we go. Let me get off the ticker here. Get off that ticker. That ticker is for, let's see, turn that off. I don't know, whatever. It won't turn on. There we go. Bam. All right. So we got some sponsors, and again, believe it or not, we're giving out an extra Camera Concepts gift certificate. Last week's winner email came back undeliverable, so we're going to be doing that again tonight. So we'll be giving out not only a Masters of Pixinsight class, but a CCTS $50 certificate. But we also give out Woodland Hills Camera and Telescopes. We give out gift certificates for them every month. Farah and the team over at Woodland Hills has been very generous to us, so thank you so much. If you're not on any of the giveaways and you want to be on the giveaways, go to go to astroworldweb.com and sign up for the giveaways. So there's 3 different types of giveaways, but go check them out, and we'll put you in for the next one. We also have our Red Giant level sponsors, Prima Luce, Camera Concepts, and Optolong. Looking forward to getting some more free stuff from Optolong. And we gave away 2 SHO sets last year, plus LRGB sets, a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of great times doing all that, especially in Astropalooza. Masters of Pixinsight and IP for AP. We're giving away another Masters of Pixinsight class tonight. We give away one every Friday night until the foreseeable future. I think this is going to be, because our relationship with them is pretty good. And IP for AP, we're giving away 12 yearly subscriptions to IP for AP. It's a great tool for Photoshop and for Pixinsight. So very cool tool there. We also have member sponsors. So if you want to join us on the member sponsor list at Patreon, go hang out with us on Patreon at AstroWorld TV and sign on up and get some free stuff. Sean Nielsen, Bob D'Amato are our first 2 off the rails members. Those people are nuts, but we appreciate them just as much. But thank you for being us on the off the rails member. We have our Quasar members, our Black Hole members, Red Giant, Main Sequence. We got a ton of members. So come, if you're new, join us on Patreon, and our Protostar members on YouTube. So thank you so much to all of the members that are sponsoring and supporting us. It means a ton. Trust me. This Friday, we have Craig Stocks, and I have a scheduling or notification issue. Craig Stocks will not be doing APP. I apologize. He does not use APP. He uses Pixinsight and Photoshop. So I thought it was APP. I really did. It is not. A little bit of a disappointment on my side, but I guess I just heard what I wanted to hear. So I apologize to everybody. But he's still going to be showing us his workflows using both. So it's going to be pretty cool. So definitely check it out. You've seen the picturs. They're great. So February 1st, we have Wayne Parker from Skyshed Observatories coming in. Talk about SkyPod S and everything else that's coming along in the works for Skyshed Observatories. It's going to be fun. Steve Malia from Starfield Optics. We've all seen the pictures that Sean Nielsen has been putting out using all the Starfield products. It's going to be great to hear what he's got coming up for Starfield. 22nd, we got Bob Denny talking about any updates with ASCOM Alpaca, which is another ASCOM to be used on other platforms. So it's new and upcoming, and it's going to be cool to see Bob again. He was a good show the last time he was on. This is his second time. And then March 1st, we have Ivalo Stoyanov from APT coming back for his second time on AstroWorld, and it's going to be fun to see him because I know we haven't seen him since the 2.0 update has come out earlier this year. So, and then of course, join us on all of our social media platforms. Discord, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok. So we're on TikTok now, sir. So. And that being said, we could go to 3 up, and there we go. And we are live again, and lot of busyness with the whole guests and everything. It's great. It's awesome. Eric, I know you want to say something. I'm gonna let you say it.
Eric, before you start, I got something to say. A moment of silence for David Crosby.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. One of the few, maybe the only members that was nominated to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice under 2 different bands. Am I right, Pete?
Absolutely. The Byrds.
Yep.
And
Crosby,
CSNY.
Stills. Yeah.
And Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Yeah. So,
yep.
God, that is tragic. Yeah. I mean, they happen in threes, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, they do. But so our condolences. But about us. We are AstroWorld TV. We really appreciate everybody joining us on Wednesdays and Fridays, but we would like you guys to do us a favor. If you've seen our show, you know what we're about, so do us a favor. Click on that like button. Give us a thumbs up. If you're on Facebook, share to public. Sharing is caring and caring is sharing. We really appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, definitely give us that thumbs up and I'm so tongue-tied right now. It's crazy. Think about subscribing to us. Click that subscribe button, ring that bell. We really appreciate it. It's going to help us out. It helps you and your fellow Astro Imagers out because it lets everyone know that AstroWorld is out here and what we are trying to do. So give us a thumbs up. Really big thumbs up, and don't forget to click on that like button and share the show. So we would really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. Down with the kids. Yep, we're down with the kids now. We're on TikTok. You know what?
Yo,
I just throw it on there. It's like all the pictures and stuff, and got like 50 followers on TikTok.
Should I start dancing, doing the floss and everything?
Doing a
doing the floss, you know.
I can't do that. I'm not even gonna try.
I can't do it either. My kids do it so well.
I can't do that. That's crazy.
Oh man.
Yeah, so tonight we're gonna be doing a couple of presentations by Pete and by Eric. So Pete is going to be going over celestial coordinate systems, RA, deck, a couple other things he'll touch on. And Eric's going to be going over his celestial catalogs.
Yes.
And thank you, Hogarth. This is money to help find Jamie. Hey, I love that song. That was so fun to play that song too. So I have 3 things to show, but I'm going to just show one now before and one between Eric and Pete and one at the end. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to show is this, and I haven't even opened it yet. It's a box. What's in the box?
It's a box.
Come on. What's in the box? Nah.
Oh, man.
There you go. First box is opening. We have your live unboxing on AstroWorld, and there we go.
Yeah.
So the first shipment of calendars is going out on tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow they're going out. So you guys, everybody should have them by, depending on where you live, by the end of the month. So there you go. That's the first show. So the calendars are here. If you haven't ordered a calendar, all of these are sold.
Sold out.
They're all sold. I have to get another shipment. So I'm getting, a lot of people don't order calendars after February, but I'm going to keep them up there. So, I'll keep them up there and I'll order them 10 at a time. But but I'm not going to be stuck with 50, 20, 23 calendars. So I'm going to order 10 at a time. And then once we sell them out, then we get it. So we got this. They're all sold out. I got all the boxes, and they're going to be shipped out this weekend. So anyway, that being said, who wants to go first?
Eric, why don't you go first, because it'll be a perfect segue to what I'm doing.
We're not worthy.
Not worthy. All right. That's all right. So we're going to share my screen here. All right. So the first presentation is going to be on Star Catalogues. I did this presentation last year. Was a lot of fun. I'm glad to do this again for another Friday of our astrophotography basics, especially for beginners and everything. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So astronomical catalogs.
Eric,
Now,
I just see your browser.
You just see my browser?
Yep.
Okay, let me see here. Minimize this. Wow. Let me try this again. Let me stop.
Now I see you.
Yep. And how about now?
Just the browser, and it's black.
And wow. Okay. That's all right. That's weird. Cancel. And stop. That is so weird.
Hey, Dan,
that's never happened before.
Eric, you might have to send the presentation to Dan. Email it to him.
It should.
Hold on. That's here we go. And let's do this. How about now?
There you go.
There you go.
There we go. Okay. So
You might want to go.
all right. So astronomical catalogs. So and when I did this research, it was pretty enlightening to me, because one of the things, because there's so many things that I don't even know when it comes to astronomy, and especially when it comes to the astronomical catalogs. And we use these astronomical catalogs a lot because here, we want to find things, right? We want to find different objects, deep sky objects, and they go by, and for the most part, besides their more common names, they're found through catalog designations. So did you know that there's at least one astronomical catalog for every letter in the alphabet? And I had no idea about that. And catalogs, they're usually the result of an astronomical survey of some kind. Catalogs are usually based on something in common, be it type of object, the origin, the magnitude, which is also the brightness, how it was detected via infrared radio, other means, or other methods of discovery. And the first known star catalog was compiled in 126 BC by the Greek astronomer Hipparchus of Nicaea. And it was giving the celestial longitude and latitude of about 850 stars. And then that was actually expanded upon by Ptolemy of Alexandria in Egypt in the Almagest in 140 AD. So there's different types of catalogs, and we're going to go through a few of them here. And some of the things to note is that many times you'll realize that there are stars and deep sky objects that have been designated in more than one catalog. So the first catalog that we're going to go through is the new general catalog, or the NGC. And this is a catalog of nebulae and clusters that was compiled by John Louis Emile Dreyer in 1888. And it actually contains close to 8,000 objects, 740 objects that make up of galaxies, star clusters, and emission nebulae. And some of these are photos that are some of my photos that I've taken of some of these objects, such as the North American nebulae, the Wizard Nebula, Galaxy, the Hamburger Galaxy, NGC 3628, which is part of the Leo triplet. You have the California Nebula, which is the photo right at the very top, which is designated NGC 1499. And the Rosette Nebula down at the bottom, which is designated as NGC 2237. Next up is the index catalog. And the index catalog, or the IC, is actually a supplement of the NGC, and it actually contains about another 5,400 objects. And some of those will include Flaming Star, which you see at the very top there, along with the Tadpole, IC 405 and 410, 4592, which is the blue horse head there in the center, and one of my personal favorite summer targets, Rho Ophiuchus, which is designated IC 4603. And this is probably the most common catalog, especially for amateur astronomers or people who are getting started in astronomy, is the Messier catalog, or it's designated with M. The Messier catalog is a set of 110 astronomical objects that were cataloged by the French astronomer Charles Messier, and it's considered his catalog of nebulae and star clusters. Now, a little bit of a fun fact here is that while Messier was doing his work, he was actually only interested in finding comets. So when he created this list, it was a list of the non-comet objects that were getting in his way and frustrating him while he was trying to hunt for those comets. So this catalog, like I say, is probably one of the most famous lists of astronomical objects. And you have in here, these are primarily all observed in the Northern Hemisphere. And you'll have M1, which is the Crab Nebula. M13 is the Hercules cluster, which is a globular star cluster. You have M31, which is right there at the top, our nearby group neighbor as far as our galaxy, the Andromeda Galaxy. The very well-known and famous Orion Nebula. And you also have M51, the Whirlpool Galaxy. Now, and the next catalog we're going to talk about was compiled by Sir Patrick Caldwell Moore, and it is the Caldwell catalog, which is the designation of C. And this is a object of 109 different star clusters and nebulae and galaxies, and these would contain objects such as the Iris Nebula, which has the Caldwell catalog designation of C4, while it has an NGC designation of 7023. The Cat's Eye Nebula, the Fireworks Galaxy C12, the Flaming Star, which I showed you in the IC of 405 in Caldwell, is designated as 31, C31. So here again, as I talked about earlier, you're going to have objects that are going to be designated in multiple catalogs and in different catalogs. And down at the bottom, you see the Helix Nebula, also known as the Eye of God, which is designated C63, and it's also designated in the NGC as 7293. And you also have a picture of some of these astronomers. So you have here Sir Patrick Caldwell Moore. This is one of my favorite catalogs, the Barnard catalog, because it has some of my favorite objects, which are the dark nebulae. And this was compiled by Edward Emerson Barnard. And this is, as I said, a compiled list of dark nebulae, and it's called the Barnard Catalog of Dark Markings in the Sky, is what the full name of the catalog is. And it is a number, is 369 nebulae that are also known as Barnard's objects. And some of those objects would be the Horsehead Nebula, probably one of a very well-known part of the Orion constellation, not that far from the Orion Nebula, which is designated B33. The photo below, at the very bottom, is B72, the Snake Nebula. And you have others such as the Dark Wolf Nebula, which is designated 228. The E Nebula, which is actually, it's kind of cool. It looks like an actual E, capital E, which is 142. And the dark area of the Trifid Nebula, which is M20, that is also, that has a designation, that dark area, of B85. And here we have the Sharpless catalog, which was published by American astronomer Stuart Sharpless. He actually published 2 editions of his Sharpless catalog, SH1 and the one we use today, SH2. And it was published in 1959 with about 312 objects. And this includes a lot of different objects, primarily in the H2 regions, a lot of narrowband targets, but also you have planetary and supernova remnants. So you have the Tulip Nebula at the very top there, which is Sharpless 101, 129, which is down at the bottom, which is the Flying Bat Nebula, which you also have in the center there, OU1, which is the Squid Nebula there in the center of the bat. You have SH2132, which is the Lion Nebula, the Bubble Nebula, which is another NGC designated object, which has also a Sharpless designation, which is 162, and Barnard's Loop, which is a huge stretch of hydrogen that goes along the constellation of Orion, and that is designated SH2276. Now, this is really cool because, one, we don't hear always a lot about women in astronomy, or in, until you hear about women like Beverly Lenz, or you hear about women such as the women of maybe Hidden Figures, the women of NASA, who helped out with the Apollo calculations for the Apollo missions. But here is Dr. Beverly Lenz. She is an American astronomer, and she developed this catalog of bright nebulae called the LBN in the 1960s. LBN is short for Lenz Catalog of Bright Nebulae. This was actually based off of a study of red and blue prints from the National Geographic Palomar Observatory Sky Atlas. So remember when I said early in the introduction, in the beginning, that these catalogs are built off of certain objects or certain other types of work. So this was done off of work from the National Geographic Sky Atlas. So this contains supernova remnants, reflection nebulae, H2 emissions. But the thing is that these specific objects have a magnitude of at least 1 or 6. And 1 is considered very bright, or the brightest, with 6 being very dim. And again, we have some examples here of objects that have multiple designations, such as the Flaming Star Nebulae, IC405, which has an LBN designation of 795. You have Thor's helmet there at the top, LBN 1041. You have the Sol Nebula, which is designated 667, the Jellyfish, and the Pelican Nebula, which is designated LBN 350. And another one of her catalogs, Dr. Lynn's catalogs, is the LDN. We just talked about the bright nebula. Now we're talking about the dark nebula, which was published in 1962 using that same National Geographic Sky Atlas that she used to catalog the bright nebula. This is how she used that same atlas to catalog these dark objects, this dark nebulae, these dark gases and dark dust clouds. And LDN is that reference to those dust cloud structures, and it's based off of their opacity, with 6 being the most opaque of objects. So you have the dark shark nebula down at the very bottom, which is designated LDN 1235. And at the top, you have 1251, which is the rotten fish. So we use these star catalogs to help us locate these stars and the planets and these objects. And within our mounts and with our software that we have, such as within Nina, we have PlateSolve 2 and AstroWorld and others. They use these star catalogs as well as our mounts, our go-to mounts, to locate these objects, these stars and these DSOs and planets. So that's why it's so important, and to be utilizing these star catalogs. So with mounts that have those go-to mounts are your tracking mounts, those computerized tracking mounts that have hand controllers that have all of these different catalogs and databases actually stored in them. And you can utilize your hand controller to slew to those different targets, so you can either view, or in our case, being Astro Imagers, to image. And some applications that we use that take advantage of star catalogs are apps such as Sky Safari, Stellarium, Sky Portal, and the Celestron's PlaneWave software, CWPI. And as I mentioned, we use this for acquisition and for plate solving. And what exactly is plate solving? Now, plate solving is a method that's used to determine exactly where the telescope is pointing in the sky by comparing the stars in the star field of that image based off of star positions. And upon, matching those images, the stars, the plate solving application returns the right ascension and declination of the center of that image. And Pete's going to talk more about right ascension and declination in his presentation. But some of the more modern pieces of software that we use for acquiring and that utilize plate solving would be Nina, Sequence Generator Pro, Voyager, and the ASIR. So, in conclusion, this goes to show that since antiquity, since the beginning of known history, astronomers and people in general have looked up at the stars, and astronomers have been cataloging stars from the very beginning. And we actually have the Gaia star catalog, which is actually mapped close to 2 billion stars based off observations from that satellite, 1.7 billion stars. So as stars change, as they evolve and they move, catalogs, they do the exact same thing. They evolve and they change. So astronomers will continue to make these discoveries and create new catalogs, adding on, new information. So we just want to say thank you to these astronomers and these scientists, and to their work. They're now immortalized, and their contributions are known the world over for what they've done for us in the field of astronomy. So we just want to say thank you. All right. So that is my presentation.
Yeah, it's a good one. That's a good presentation, Eric.
Thanks, man.
I love that presentation, because you know what, and you know what, sooner or later, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna force you to do each letter of that alphabet for every calendar. just a 5-minute thing saying today's letter is A, and this is the Abel catalog. And this is B, the Barnard calendar, and C, the Caldwell. I don't know what D is.
The question is, the $1 million question is, which one stands for Q?
Good question.
That's what I want to find out.
QED.
Yeah. So it's a lot of, that was a lot of fun to do that research. Taught me a lot, and this is one of the things that I love about this hobby, is that you just keep learning, you keep educating yourself. So It was really, really cool.
Dylan got it. So
the QED.
The QED catalog. So what's the point of having the same object in multiple catalogs?
Well,
as the author, you get your name in lights, right?
What was that?
Yeah.
As the author, you get your name in lights.
Exactly. You get your name in lights, and things change over time. But basically, to your point, Pete, it's astronomer, they want to be immortalized.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting how even the Orion Nebula, it actually has an LBN number. The Running Man has an LBN number. So, and it's based off of it could be based off of, as I said, certain criteria. So with Messier, he was trying to avoid comets, trying to say, get these things out of my way. I'm trying to look at Halley. I'm trying to look at Hale-Bopp,
Yep.
And so so he designated that as, okay, I've seen 110 of these sons of guns and not one comet. Things like that. I've done a marathon of all this mess, but I haven't seen one freaking comet.
Yep.
So
the irony of all this, though, is to the average person, as humans, we always want to look at something and give it a shape, and with that shape, we can recognize it as a name. Case in point, you had mentioned the Running Man. We'll probably never really remember what the designation would be, whether it be an LBN, whether it be an LDN, whether it be a Messier or an NGC, but it'll be the Running Man or the Witch Head or the Rosette Nebula. I mean, it'll be the Veil Nebula. We always need to give it some kind of a designation that we can associate with, but that's just us as being humans. We always have to do that.
Yeah.
And there's some things that I can't even tell what they are. I mean, some of these things, I don't even know where they get things from. Libra?
Yeah.
That doesn't look like a scale to me.
I mean, you look at the LBN, and what Beverly Lenz did is her catalog was based off of that National Geographic Sky Atlas. So that's what she was basically focused on. And so when she was making her designation, it was just basically straight off of that. But, the NGC, that's a totally different catalog, because it has even more objects in it over, and with the IC as well, over 5,000 in the IC, and they were trying to find things that fell into a certain criteria. right? Versus a maybe a star atlas or a sky atlas. So it just depends on what criteria that maybe that astronomer is looking at, to decide on, hey, this is going to go into this catalog because it does fall under this. Just like Sharpless, he was looking at H2 regions. So he was just wanted to designating all the H2 regions and things like that. And so it just happened to be, hey, this may have already have a designation, for this catalog, but I'm cataloging these, these specific things. So I'm going to designate them here, for my catalog because I want to catalog this particular information.
And too, Eric, to your point here, isn't there a catalog for PLA, planetary nebulas, that's just dedicated to PLA?
Yeah.
So
PNA, I think it's called PNA or
PNA or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But Hogarth had a good question. I don't know if you saw it flash on the screen, but what will happen to new discoveries like the Blue Arc Nebula, which was discovered next to M31? Which catalog will it be added to?
That's a good question.
It could, there's always everything's been slamming into NGC. Recently, anything newer has just been getting the next number on NGC usually, and then it goes from other catalogs if anybody wants. Hogarth, make your own, man. Hogarth's catalog.
There you go.
But to answer your, what you guys are talking about as far as planetary nebula, if there's an actual catalog, the PB and the PC.
PB and PC. I knew it was something. With the P. Yeah.
Yep. Those are both planetary nebulae catalogs.
I got a good. Tom had a really good comment. I'm going to throw it on the screen real quick. Here we go.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure. That's funny. It's really only 250 objects.
Yeah, really.
That's awesome. That's a great comment. I love being able to put them on the screen now.
Hey, Dan, before you go ahead and do this little presentation between the unveiling, take a look. Can you open up AstroBin and go to Eric Coles? We had Eric Coles on last year, and Eric was talking about his workflow. He got a copy, the raw data from the James Webb Telescope on the Pillars of Creation. Check this. Check his post-processing. This blew me away when I saw it. It is absolutely outstanding. It's probably the best post-processed image I've ever seen.
And which picture you're looking at?
It's on his AstroBin website, Eric Coles, and he's got the James Webb Telescope, the Pillars of Creation, and he's done some processing through the infrared, but he's done a great, unique way of doing it. And it was actually listed as the image of the day on AstroBin a couple of days ago.
Eric Coles. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, sorry. It's not coming up. There we go. Coles 44. There he is. And it's the Pillars of Creation, you said?
Yeah, the Pillars of Creation. And it's his most recent post that he's put on his page.
The blue one?
The blue one. It's just phenomenal. Can you post it for everybody?
Yeah, I'm going to get it.
Oh, wow. Holy cow.
Oh, is that?
Isn't that something? I mean,
it's not on the screen yet.
It talks about post-processing technique too.
I can, if you want.
That is incredible.
That is crazy.
That's out of control.
I mean, the contrast, it's the opposite, right? The red and blue on the color wheel, just the contrast.
Let me get my face
that he minimized the stars. But look at that. Look at the relief. Look at the 3D nature of that. And then actually it talks about how he post-processed it. That is unbelievable.
That's pretty crazy.
I mean, that just is wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at the detail. I mean, definitely it's the James Webb Telescope, but just his post-processing technique.
It's his post processing.
That's pretty cool.
That's amazing. That really is amazing.
I need to reach out to him and see if we can get him back on again, because it would be interesting to talk to him about that.
Yeah, that's amazing stuff. Yeah, just to get that detail out of that, you could see the 6 spikes in some of the stars. You could see it.
Yeah.
Cool. So, I did a little poll while Eric was talking. Let's see. I don't know what it came up. Oh, overwhelming. What to unbox next? The Astro present or the not Astro present?
Astro.
So the end of the poll is 91% Astro and 9% not Astro. So overwhelming. So, well, do you want the box or what's inside the box?
I'll take door number 2.
What's in the box, man? What is in the box?
Okay, we'll just. I took it out of the box in case, but here we go.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that thing.
So hold on, Dan. Let's see the back of it. What are the inputs on the back?
So
There
you
we
got
go. So
you got a RJ11, a regular phone cable out. You got a USB out, and you got a EQ. It's an EQ 6 or 8R connector in and another one out. I'm not sure what the other one out's going to be for, but
Oh my goodness!
But that's it. That's the one.
Look at that.
So the
thing.
satellite,
And how
Vixen,
It's got both.
ND series.
It's got both.
Yep. Dual knobs. I like that.
Dual knobs.
those are some good size.
Place if you want to, if you want to put the pole master.
Yep.
And I believe I'm going to test it. I believe I can put this on an EQ6R tripod. So,
what is that? Is that an M thread or a SAE?
I think it's a 3/8.
Oh, it's a 3/8 then. Okay.
I think it's a 3/8. So I think I could use my EQ6R tripod on it. So,
okay.
So
that is a beauty.
That's going to be the final, even though it's not apples to apples, this is the final part of the harmonic mount drive video that I've been putting together. So I've done the AM5, I've done the HEM27, now this one.
The next.
So Dan, now, granted, this is a different class of a harmonic mount. This is dual drive harmonic mounts. So it's got it both in RA and DEC, whereas the other two only have it in DEC.
So you're saying encoders in RA and DEC?
What's that?
Is that encoders in RA?
Well, it's got the strain wave in.
It's a strain wave in both axes.
It's the only one that has it in both. So right now,
but there's no encoders though, right?
No. So it's the retail. This goes for $2,900. So yeah, no encoders.
So man, think about it, Dan. Dan, think about the color now, right? You've got your black and blue, you've got your red Primalucci, you've got your white and black from your telescope. You've got quite the color combination going on.
I have got the ultimate patriotic telescope. That's what I got. And you know what the funny thing is? One's made in China, one's made in Italy, and the other thing's made in Greece. So not one thing made in the U.S.
Well, it's both the U.S., right?
I'm sorry. If I use the AP scope, that's made in the U.S. But if I use the Skywatcher, the Esprit that I'm selling, that's not made in the U.S. That's all Chinese make. But I'm looking forward to trying this guy out. So
what do you think? What's the weight on that puppy?
The Eagle's not made in America. The Eagle's made in Italy, bro.
Yeah,
Eagle's in
absolutely.
Italy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Primo
welcome
Luce,
out.
Primo Luce, hey.
Primo Luce
Hey.
Labs.
This is not a computer. This is more than a computer.
Give him the cannoli.
I love that guy. That guy is awesome.
Get the guns, get the cannoli.
Sonny's thinking about going to the mattresses. But anyway, we do have another presentation tonight by our main man Pete in the bottom. So Pete's going to be talking about some coordinate systems, and it's gonna be a lot better than I did because he knows a crap ton more about it than I do. I guess I'll start the PowerPoint because I'm going to run it from here, and Pete's going to talk over it. So I could actually do that picture in picture with this scenario, not if you're running it on your own. So
Perfect.
So I'm going to try and do it on the fly. I didn't think about doing it until now, but let's see what we can do. Okay. So let's see. We'll do. Here we go. We'll quick play this guy. There we go. And
well, the title of this.
Oh, you're fast forwarding. You're fast
it's
forwarding.
not me. It's not me. Hold on a second. Go back. There we go.
Fast forward.
There we go. So the title of this was Heaven Knows Where I'm At, Understanding the Different Coordinate Systems. Okay, next slide, Mr. Dan. So what we've got the horizontal coordinate system, and basically this system is used to specify the position of the celestial objects relative to the local horizon. Case in point, it'll be the alt-azimuth. So with alt, the altitude of an object is expressed as the number of degrees from the horizon. Oops, it just disappeared, Dan.
Nope, I gotcha. There you go.
Oh, there we go. So basically from the degrees from the horizon to the object, and it's always between minus 90 degrees and plus 90 degrees. So objects at an altitude of less than 0 degrees are below the horizon. Whereas with the azimuth of an object is generally reckoned from the north, increasing in the clockwise direction and ranges from 0 degrees to 359 degrees. So north is going to always be 0 degrees, east is 90, south is 180, and west is 270. The issue with the horizon coordinate system is not convenient for specifying. Dan, you're going to have to move your.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, maybe move it to the top right corner.
I will do that. And yep,
There we
there you
go.
go.
So it's not convenient for specifying the location of celestial targets because the horizon coordinates of stars and other objects are continuously changing with the progression of the Earth's rotation. The exception here is with targets that are close to both the celestial poles, which we call circumpolar. Next slide. The equatorial coordinate system. So in the equatorial coordinate system, the coordinates of all celestial targets remain fixed from hour to hour and day to day. An object's equatorial coordinates remain the same regardless of the position on Earth the target is viewed. This allows astronomers to create star maps that apply to any place on Earth or publish the anticipated site locations in the heavens for upcoming celestial events. The equatorial coordinate system is used to specify the positions of celestial targets, is directly analogous to the latitude, longitude coordinates based here on terrestrial Earth. We call this celestial sphere. Certain terms apply to the celestial sphere, such as RA, right ascension, declination, HA, hour angle, and LST is local sidereal time. The one issue with this coordinate system is they change over long periods of time due to a term called precession due to Earth wobble. Next slide. So what is right ascension? So the term RA comes from the fact that when viewed from the equator, all stars ascend at right angles to the horizon. The analogy of RA lines on the celestial sphere is the same as longitude lines on Earth. Longitude lines divide the Earth into 365 degrees. So RA lines divide the celestial sphere into 24 hours based on one revolution of planet Earth. So 1 hour of RA equals 15 degrees. 0 degrees longitude passes through Greenwich, England, and it's the designated reference line for longitude here on planet Earth. However, we need to have a reference line on the celestial sphere for 0 hours of RA. And so the use of vernal equinox is that starting point. This is the site location on the celestial sphere where the sun crosses the celestial equator during its apparent annual motion against the background stars. Declination. Declination lines on the celestial sphere are like the latitude lines here on terrestrial Earth, ranging from plus 90 degrees to minus 90 degrees, plus being north of the celestial equator, minus being south of the celestial equator. So declination of a target is the angle of measurement from the celestial equator at 0 degrees along a meridian line through the celestial target. Next slide.
Yep.
And our angle, and it's interesting, what used to be past use now is kind of coming back in motion now. So what is our angle? And I use this quite a bit whenever I decide to say, okay, what is my target that I'm going to be imaging? So our angle is the westward motion measurement of a target to the meridian. So as the target ascends in the east, coming up from the horizon, the hour angle of this object will be at minus. At meridian, it will have an hour angle of 0, and as it passes the meridian, it will have a plus designation. So hour angle can be used to describe a telescope's mechanical orientation with respect to horizon-based hemispheres. So let me elaborate a little bit on that. Let's say that you've decided that you're going to image a particular celestial target. That target now is, say, 20 degrees, 30 degrees above the eastern horizon. And you want to know how long it's going to take before it hits meridian before you have to designate a meridian flip. So what you can do is you can actually calculate out how many hours it's going to take before it hits meridian. And based upon how long your exposure is, you can now calculate how many exposures you can get before you're going to actually have to do your meridian flip. Case in point, with a lot of these scopes now, you can actually go past meridian to a certain point, usually up to about an hour before you do that meridian flip. So this gives you a good idea about how many images that you can expose for prior to hitting at meridian. So what is local sidereal time? Local sidereal time is a time according to the stars at your longitude. So let's assume that star X is on the meridian at 0 hours, which would be midnight. The same star will return to the meridian after 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4 seconds, approximately of clock time. So in other words, the star time runs almost 4 minutes faster each day. Therefore, there are two key differences between sidereal time and clock time. Sidereal time is different at each longitude. Clock time is the same for all longitudes within a certain time zone. And then to convert from clock time to sidereal time, you need to know the time and the date. And in astronomy, we always use sidereal time as the basis. And I think that's it, Dan, for this particular presentation. I'm going to add to this over the next several months. So we'll keep adding to this because it brings up a lot of points that Eric had mentioned, that when you get into buying a lot of these mounts, they'll actually have RA and DEC coordinates for celestial targets, whether they be IC catalogs, Messier catalogs, NGC catalogs, LBN catalogs. And that's the beauty is that now everything will definitely be automated in terms of RA and declination coordinates.
Nice. Nice. Awesome. All right. So we got LST, we got DEC, we got RA, we got, what else we got? Celestial spheres. Well, let's talk a little bit about let's bring it but really beginners, Pete. So let's talk about the other lines in the sky that we not only celestial coordinate systems, but other markings in the sky that we use to judge where things are or what's going to happen, like meridian, and others. So why don't you give that a whirl?
Well, it's interesting is we'll hear terms called meridian. And what meridian is that, let's say you're standing with your face facing north and your back is facing south. That imaginary line that runs right through the middle of your body is called the meridian, from north to south. The point directly right above your head will be called zenith. The point exactly below your feet is called nadir, right? Nadr,
Yep.
nadir. So now we're looking at the fact that, okay, Earth now is tilted at what, 23 and a half degrees?
I hope
tilt?
so. I hope it's still that way.
So, man. And this brings up a good point about what is precession, right? What is it, every 23,000 or 26,000 years?
26,000.
The Earth starts to kind of wobble like a top. So what's interesting is what we see today as the North Star will not be the North Star here 26,000 years from now. Now everybody thinks that it's going to be Vega, but it's not Vega.
I thought it was Fomalhaut is the next one.
Well, you know what? Let's
next
ask
bright
that out
one.
I think the membership, there's some good people out there that'll know what it is. Maybe they might know what it is.
It's not Fomalhaut?
No, it's not Fomalhaut, because remember, right. Fomalhaut's the southern equator. But we talked about that several months ago. Yeah, remember we talked about it?
Yeah, but I don't remember us naming it. I don't remember.
You named it. You came up with the name of it. You knew it. I remember that.
I need my Prevagen, I guess, because I forgot it between then and now.
Yeah.
I did know it. Was it one in Pegasus?
No, I think it was, it's a good question. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, is it something in Draco? Was it the Draco what it was going to
be? Everybody says something in Draco.
Yeah. I think it was Gamma Cephei, right? Gamma Cephei, wasn't that it? Because I remember everybody was saying that it's going to be Vega, but I thought, no, it's not going to be Vega.
I knew it wasn't Vega. It's random.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yep, Gamma Cephei.
Yep, that's going to be and so I'm just kind of curious, what is the magnitude of Gamma Cephei? Because right now we can kind of see what Polaris is like, but let's kind of fast forward to 26,000 years from now. And let's say we want to kind of do a polar alignment.
3.21.
Yep.
3.21. So it's going to definitely be fainter than what the Polaris is, right?
Yep.
Yep. That's it. So that's what we get when we get precession. And then another term is called the ecliptic. With the ecliptic, that's the path that the planets, the moon, and the sun follow. And it basically goes through the 12 constellations called the zodiac.
Yep.
And typically, when we talked about vernal equinox, that's the point where the sun crosses the celestial equator into Pisces. And that now is where we start to get into spring. So that's going to be like March 20th, March 21st is the standard. So that's going to be at longitude 0 on the celestial equator.
And just so you know, I know why that people thought it was Vega. I know why. There was a paper put out by and I just looked them up, by a website called newsscientist.com in April of 2022, just recently. And they did put up, in 12,000 years from now, the next North Star will be Vega. And I just took it a step further to find out how reliable is the fact checking on newsscientist.com. And they're only right 75% of the time. So
one out of
so one out of every. So they got 3 more chances to get it right. So
That's funny. Yeah.
But
So basically, and this is ties into what Eric was talking about with the catalogs. Is there's a great website, and Dan, maybe you could pull this up called Blackwater Skies.
yep.
This is basically the one that I use because it's so good to be able to plan maybe a month ahead of time as to what target you want to image. And it gives you everything from your RA deck coordinates to your image scale to your field of view. And you can keep multiple frames, and you can actually have these frames as different colors if you've got multiple scopes and camera setups. And you can literally scroll across targets within the celestial sphere, and you can literally now orientate it into your field of view. You can get it into, say, landscape, portraiture, and you can basically move to say, okay, if I want to get this thing settled, as soon as you point your cursor onto the center, it'll give you what that RA and deck coordinate is. So what I do is I write all this down. So I plan, say, for like maybe March, April, May, June, July, August of what target I'm going to shoot for that month. And if you don't mind, Dan, if you could pull that up, maybe what we'll do is we'll go through a presentation and I can show people how they can really navigate within Blackwater Skies.
Give me 1 sec. I'll pull that up. Blackwater Skies. And there we go. And hold on,
Okay.
I'll get me out of there and put you in there because you're going to be doing the presentation. Give me 1 second. Layers and air and eat. There you go.
Yep. So when you come to Blackwater Skies, it always defaults to B33.
Yep.
And you'll notice that you've got icons vertical on the left, icons vertical on the right, and then you've got horizontal icons at the bottom. So as Dan is moving around, that's the position of the cursor. It's giving you the digits on the left, the digits on the right. The right-hand digits are your RA coordinates. The left is your deck coordinates. And then to the right, you've got your field of view, FOV. So Dan, let us go down to the very first icon with the camera. We'll click on that camera icon. And what you do here is you'll actually pick and choose your camera of choice.
I'll just keep it there for now.
Yep. And then your scope of choice is the next drop-down menu.
Has a whole bunch of scopes, so you can check out anything. So.
And then what we've got then is you got your choice of Barlow and reducers. And now it will calculate automatically what your vocal length is and what your effective vocal length is and what the aperture is. And as you can see now, it populates with a green, by default, a green screen around a particular target. So just maybe put in 0.5, Dan. Yep, and hit calculate. So if you were kind of now, Dan, close out the equipment window. Now let's see, you see where you've got the plus in the middle? Move your cursor right into that. There you go. And then take a look at the top left. That's your RA coordinates, your deck coordinates. And then in the top left corner of your green frame, you've got 4.22 arc minutes. Is that arc minutes? You got a 1.27 arc seconds per pixel.
3.27.
So that's giving you your image scale. And now what you can do, Dan, is you can move around the background. So just click on the background and move it around within that frame. So now you can actually frame the target for what you want to do. So let's just go down to M42, Dan. No. Just scroll down on the background. Just scroll down a little bit south, right there. There we go. Okay, so now we've got M42. Now what we want to do, Dan, is that camera an M30? Is that a 533 square filter or a square camera?
No, it's a 1600. It's a rectangle.
1600.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go down now, Dan, to the bottom horizontal icons. You'll see arrows at the bottom there. The first row Go up to the very first row, and then just scroll over to the right. 1, 2, 3, right there. Click on that a couple of times and watch what happens. You're seeing the degree. It's moving it now into a portraiture landscape. So it gives you an idea now. What you can do is, if you want to do it in portraiture, you want to do it in a diagonal, or you want to do it in a landscape format. Now, what you can do here is you can save this particular frame. You'll go to the far left again, Dan. The icon's on the top left, and you're going to scroll down. I think about the fourth one down. Actually, we'll go through each one, Dan. Let's go through each one right there. But if you want to change your pixel size on your camera, let's say you don't have a camera that actually is listed, you can actually add your pixel size and your focal length telescope. So that gives you the manual inputs if you want to do it. So that's the second icon. Let's go down to the third one, Dan. There we go. That's your chip size. You can manually enter what your chip size is if you don't have it listed. The fourth icon is where we want to go down. Just one more up.
Oh, I skipped one. I'm sorry.
You skipped one right there. That's where you can actually keep your frames. This particular one defaults with the green frame, and you can name it. If you want a new one, then you type in, say, a new scope, a new telescope, and you can change the color. So you can have multiple frames that you want. So you can see how you can have this. So if you've got, say, 3 telescope setups, you can have 3 different designations for frame colors. So that's pretty cool. And then you can delete, you can make new, or whatever you want to do. So it gives you that capability. Then let's go down now, Dan, to say the 5th frame, the 5th icon. Let's say you decide that you don't want to scroll the background and you just want to type in a search. You can type in whatever target you want. Otherwise, you've got to browse. The second field is a browse. Yep.
You got Caldwell and Messier in here.
Yep. And then the beauty about this too is the survey. This gives you a choice of colored surveys. You can actually do HA. You can do a multitude of different surveys if you decide that you want to see what it looks like. Some of them work, some of them don't work, but it's just a matter of just clicking those on, and you can actually find out which ones give you something. Case in point, the Spaghetti Bowl Nebula. It doesn't really show up in the color, but if you do HA, it really brings out the HA in the Spaghetti Bowl. So that's where you would use the H alpha.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Yep. Now then, Dan, let's just go down one more on the left icons. You can see all these different, that one right there. If you know what the RA and deck coordinates are, you type them in there, and it'll bring you to the target of your choice. And then you can actually link these, and you can export these if you want to. So keep them as files. So now let us do this, Dan. Let's go over to the right side and the icons on the right side.
Right.
Yep. That's going to be, I think, full frame.
That's full screen.
Now,
yep.
Yep. So you're going to have to change the survey. Let's go back to the survey, and let's go the third one down, Dan. The survey.
Yeah, I'm just
right there.
Give me a second.
Go down 3 more. Go down 2 more.
I know. I'm just getting it off at that. And which one should I?
DSS color. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Now hit go, Dan. There you go. So now you can actually go to the right icons. That'll be full. You'll go to the top one. That'll be full frame.
Right.
At the very top.
Yep.
Top one right there. Yep. And then the one below it now, if you scroll out, Dan, you see the bottom icons at the bottom row with the eye with the slash through it.
Yep.
Click on that one. That'll wipe out the frame. And now you can scroll out, and it's your field of view will definitely get smaller. So if you scroll out, You see those white lines? Keep scrolling out. That's that star icon on the far right. That's your constellation lines. So it gives you like a reference. So if we go back up to the star icon on the right side, and you click on that, that'll take out, there you go.
Okay.
Yep. And then, as I said, you can literally now start playing around with these different icons, but this literally is a good program. And Dan, just, I tell you what, scroll out quite a bit, if you don't mind. You'll see the whole celestial sphere when you scroll all the way out.
And I just,
And then you can just drag. You can see the left, you've got now the Rosette Nebula, you got the Seagull Nebula, you've got the Monkey Head. And if you just start scrolling on the background, just click and drag the background, you'll be able to move that whole, the whole background.
it only goes out. That's as far as it goes out. So,
Okay. So you can see now, literally, look at this, you know, it's got all kinds of targets on there that you can image.
oh,
So case in point, right about there, Dan, just I tell you what, let's just do something. M51, Dan, you know where M51 is. See if
Yeah.
you can get that square right over M51. No, just below the Big Dipper handle.
I know where it is. Looking for the Big Dipper.
Yep,
So it's kind of like right over here somewhere.
It's right above it. See that
There it
white
is.
spot right above?
I got it.
There you go.
There.
And then zoom in.
There you go.
And what's nice is take a look at your RA and deck coordinates at the top where your mouse is.
Right there.
So wherever you put your mouse, that'll be what you write down as your RA and deck coordinates. That's pretty cool little software.
Oh yeah,
It
it's a lot of fun. I use it quite a bit.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's a great one. There you go. And then, yep, and there we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Very cool stuff. Well, I got one more thing to unbox. It's already been unboxed, but I'm gonna throw it
There's
in.
more?
There's more. Oh.
Hold it. Oh, wow.
Oh.
You can't
Show off.
see it because it's green here.
Is that your video card?
Yep.
Look at the size
That
of that box
is
for
the
a video card.
4080. That is the 4080. That is a
Holy
beast.
shit, how many gigs are
What's that?
How many is that? 12? Is that a 12? 16? That's a 16? Yeah.
How much did that set you back?
Oh.
600?
No. 16.
1600? Oh my God. Oh.
Thank you, newegg.com. There you go.
Are you kidding me? $1,600 for a video card?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Holy camoli, man.
You know, it just drove me nuts trying to make videos and how to scrub these things. I needed something with faster frame rates. And my 2060 is good. And I'll use that in another box. I'll create another box for it. But eventually I'll get a new motherboard and everything. But I had to get a new case, too, because my case won't fit this.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan, Dan, can you show us? Can you open it up and show us what the card looks like? I really would love to see it, man.
It's a
I mean, the
beast.
box looks.
It's a beast
Look
of
at
a
the
card.
box.
What's in the
I mean,
box?
I've never seen a video card in a box that big.
It's a beast of a card.
God.
Oh my God. Well, I'm not going to take it out of its bag. Actually, yeah.
But there you go.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
take it,
amazing.
just raise it up in the ESD, there, Dan, and that's like, there you go.
Yeah.
It's a
So
monster. It takes up, how many PCI slots did it take up? Did it take up?
I think it
How many
only takes up
pounds is that?
it takes up the one. It's just the one.
No.
What's the weight
As
of
far as the back
Oh,
slots,
as far
how
as
many does it
actually
take?
actual space, it's 3.
Spacey. Yeah, that's what I
3.
thought. It was like 2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3. But it's
So
huge.
how much does it weigh?
Oh, it's
How much does it weigh?
it actually comes with a stabilizing bar because it's so heavy that you need to put the stabilizing bar in there so it doesn't bend on the
Yeah.
it doesn't bend your slot. But this has got three fans.
Wow.
It's thick. It's thick. It's like 2 thumbs thick. But it's crazy. It's crazy. So that's that. That's my project tomorrow. I didn't want to do. I could have done it today. It came at 2:00 today, but I said we got a show tonight, and if something goes wrong, we may not have a show. So, but that's the next thing. So
That's
Jesus Christ.
what's that?
I was going to say, can I power my Tesla with that?
But the sad thing is that I don't play games anymore on the computer. This is not for gaming at all. This is for me. It's not for gaming. It's more than capable of blowing the crap out of any PS5. But the whole thing is that, my videos and, stuff like that I want to start doing.
Yep.
And you know what the cool thing is? Where is it? It's called an eagle. It's called an eagle. So I got an eagle on my telescope and I got an eagle on the computer. So there we go. So that's the next toy. So that came today with the calendars.
You'll never have to get another card, man, ever.
Hey,
Eric,
that's what I said about the 2060.
Last words. You'll
I'm
telling
telling you.
Yeah, right. I mean, good luck.
Danny,
Because
no.
myself.
I'm sorry. He had a question. Danny, no, I actually had to buy a new power supply and a new case. So I bought let's see, I don't know. I bought a ROG Thor 1000 watt modular power supply, which is more than enough for that. I probably could have run it with my 800 that's in there. But it was the recommendation is 650. Users say 750. So it's like 8's too close to 750. So I there was a 1000 watt gaming modular power supply out for sale for like $200. So I bought it. So
yeah. So are you using that now? You're using that more for because of for Pixinsight, right? Because of the what is it called? Because you can take advantage
the CUDA cores. Yeah, the CUDA.
CUDA cores. Yeah.
So the CUDA, it has almost 9,000 CUDA cores in it. So I'm expecting a ridiculous boost to things like Star Exterminator, noise, all the Russell Croman stuff works with the CUDA cores. Nothing else, StarNet does, but if you're using StarX, it's really kind of moot at that point. But Net will work with it, but not a lot of other things work with the CUDA cores yet. I'm waiting for things to come a little bit more to be using the GPU. But really, I bought this for the show, number one. Number two is scrubbing videos and editing videos. Like I've been taking, like when I'm done with the show tonight, tomorrow I'm going to edit it. I'm going to take all the music out of the beginning. I'm going to start it at the first 5 seconds when we have the promo, and then just let it run. Cut out the first 30 minutes that, you know what I mean? And then, and to do that, I got to kind of manipulate things around and splice and scrub and all that. So it just got to the point where I would scrub for 5 seconds and the screen would just stop. It would just stop, and I'd have to wait for it to catch up. So am I going to mine crypto with it? I could. I don't know how. So if you want to teach me, I might.
I mean, that's all gone. That's all gone. As far as crypto and the crypto builds and stuff like that, the mining builds, it's not even worth it anymore.
Yep. So I don't know anything about. I know what mining crypto means and stuff like that. I don't know how to do it. No idea. So will PlaneWave be crap too? No, PlaneWave will come out with more stuff just like everybody. Everybody updates their stuff. It's not that it's crap. It's it's just that it's good for the time, and 3 years down the road something else is better, and that's how we keep on, at the end of our lifetime, if you're an astro imager and you continue to astro image for 50 years, you'll probably put $200,000-$300,000 over and over and over again, buying different scopes, buying different cameras, buying different mounts, buying the mount that you had 4 years ago because now you need it again. And so it's like all these things we keep on purchasing and purchasing because things get better as time goes on.
Right. When it comes to lenses and it comes to mirrors, I'll be honest with you, we're really from the hardware perspective, my gut tells me, it's just my own personal opinion, we're really at that point. How do you improve upon maybe changing glass, right? We go to borosilicate glass, but optics are optics. The key is you can't get to a point where you can overcome seeing. So what can we do to compensate for that? Maybe this is something. Maybe we come up with some adaptive optics that you put on the back of your camera. Now, if you do that, that means you got to come up with more back focus distance. Typically, your back focus distance on the majority of your refractors is what, 55, 56 millimeters. The PlaneWaves, you can get up to 11.09 inches. So yeah, if you can maybe do some improvements on adaptive optics to be able to compensate for the seeing conditions, yeah, that would definitely be an improvement in terms of the optics. But you're right, Dan, and we've talked about this many, many, many times. It's going to be the updated algorithms that are going to really be impressive, that you can now really do, like case in point, Blur Exterminator. Look what that has been able to do. It's just been a game changer. There's going to be a lot of that coming down, and that's going to be something that will really be state of the art, cutting edge technology. It's going to be all the software algorithms to be able to say, how can I make an existing image that's good? How can I make it better?
Yep.
Right.
So Dave, was it 42nd year as an amateur astronomer? Congratulations, Dave. 17 years as an amateur. So. See, you know what? I never really when I bought my first telescope, which was a Meade refractor, probably like 2-inch, whatever, 3-inch, like a 60 or an 80 or something like that. Way back when, nice, like a Polaris-ish type scope. And I never put it, I don't even remember when I bought it, but that's when I really consider myself starting to do amateur observing. And that's got to be, I don't know, I would guess I was like 19, I guess, when I bought my first telescope. So, I've had telescopes before that, but first time I bought my own, actually, no, my mother bought my first telescope. It was an 8-inch, Celestron orange tube. So that was, I want to say that was probably like 85, somewhere around there.
Okay.
So if we count that, so that's 15 plus 22, 23. So that's 38. So I'm not far behind you. so
Yeah. I can remember my very first telescope being up in a little town called Mimico, which was in the borough of Etobicoke. It was 1967, and it was one of those Tascos that had the RA armatures that hung out in the
nice.
deck,
Yep.
and you had to kind of look at the eyepiece. You had to kind of keep moving it to keep that
Yep.
targets. And you'd be up there. I can remember back then you could be out in the cold weather because you're just 12 years old, but it'd be like freaking zero, man. I'd be out there looking at everything and going, "Oh, this is fantastic." Now I'm going, man, if it's anything below 50, there's not a ghost of a chance I'm going up to image, man. It's just too cold. I just don't want to freeze my butt out there. But
Yeah.
think about it now. You got the Eagle, right? Doesn't care if this telescope gets frost, and you can have everything just coated in frost. You could be inside the comfort of your home, and you got an Eagle that's running your scope.
Yep.
It is incredible what the amateur market is like now for optics. We really are in the golden age for our hobby right now in terms of optics, cameras, and automation. It really is the golden age for what we do.
Dave, I think I got you beat on this one. He said his first camera was a Meade DSI. I remember the Meade DSI, and that was a dreadful piece of software that it came with. It came with the AutoStar Suite version 1, and it had something called the Magic Focus. And it had 2 arrows on each side and a line that moved back and forth between the arrows. And between the arrows was a space. And you would move your focuser back and forth. And if you put the line in between the 2 arrows, you were in focus. It was never in focus. Never. Not in a million years. I think the first camera I took a picture with I did film. I had my Minolta Maxim that I did with film, but my first digital, I used a HP PhotoSmart 850. I remember it. It was a horrible, horrible thing. Horrible picture, holding the camera like this. It was just horrible. But I mean, that's then you got the 2-cam. Remember the 2-cam?
Yeah.
Philips 2-cam.
The interesting thing is let's talk about maybe Del Kirkins and we talk about RCs. Typically, 9 out of 10 people always get aluminum coated mirrors. If they've got the money and you spent to get gold plated, gold plate is going to cost you money. But now, guess what? You're going to be doing definitely a little bit of IR because that extends now into that RA range. But you're right. You can either get silver plated, you can get gold plated, or you get aluminum plated, and that's the real interesting thing. As I said, who would ever thought that you could do this here 20 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, 20 years ago, no, you can just get aluminum plated. That's all I could get. Nobody really knew that you could probably do this stuff, let alone they probably knew about it, but it was just the cost to do it. It was just cost prohibitive to go ahead and get a silver plated mirror or a gold plated mirror.
I lost YouTube. Picture that. Oh, I know why. But yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what the future. I think you're right. I think the computer programming is just going to get a lot better. The AIs are going to get a lot better. The chip sensitivity will still continue to get better. I think the read noise will continue to drop. The QE will continue to rise in certain models, and I think it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. It's only a matter of time till we get, 99% QE cameras. You know what I mean? It's, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, it's funny. By the time that it gets down to the prosumer market, case in point, remember when the QHY 600 first came out? It was like $6,800.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a lot of money to spend for the average person. Now they're starting to kind of drop because you're right. There's going to definitely be new sensors coming up. So in another 2-3 years, you'll be able to pick up QHY 600 cameras, probably on AstroMart and Cloudy Nights Classified, probably for around about $2,500. So you're absolutely right. It is getting into that kind of point where it's getting into the prosumer range for us amateur astronomers.
No, I don't have a picture of my first telescope, but I do have a picture somewhere of the actual first telescope I ever looked through when I was 7. As a matter of fact, I have that telescope. My uncle, who found his telescope, it's been in his basement for 40 years, said, "Do you want it? This is the one where we saw Saturn with." I said, "No way." I said, "Yeah, sure, I want it. It's in storage right now." I took it to keep it because it was the first telescope I ever looked through. It's like a little Meade kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting too, Dan, when you think about this, is look at these telescope manufacturers, right? I mean, Meade was the white elephant in the room back then. In the 80s, it was Meade. I mean, it was Meade. I mean, every advertisement you saw on Sky and Telescope magazine was Meade telescopes. Look where Meade is at today, right? I mean, they're non-existent.
Well,
They're non-existent.
slowly making a comeback through Orion. So,
yeah, but they'll never be the elephant in the room that they once were.
I don't think so.
They never will.
It was always them and Celestron. Them and Celestron, back and forth. It was only those two, really, that at least in the consumer area. That was it. Then all of a sudden, when Meade dropped, like a couple years ago, through that time, you got people coming out like William Optics, Explore Scientific. You got all these people coming out with scopes that are decent scopes. So now, not only does it help, the mass production of scopes, it also helps the competition to keep the prices down, or as down as they could be. You know what I mean? Whereas when it was just Celestron and Meade, they could charge whatever the hell they wanted to because it was only them.
Yep.
It's kind of like having two gas stations across the street from each other. They're like, who's charging what?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
like
Canon and Nikon too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
go ahead, Pete.
I was going to say, if you had told me that Meade would be in the condition that they were here, I would have said, 10 years ago, no way. Are you kidding me? Meade? Not Meade. They're the white elephant in the room. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
But it's just unfortunate that they have become what they have. But it's just an evolution, I guess. It's just poor management, poor leadership at the very top, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what happened in the background, but I mean, it's a shame what happened and how things, hopefully, the Orion does the right thing with the name and move it forward, so we'll see what happens.
Before we go much further, there's a post by Dylan, and Dylan, the only thing I'm going to suggest you do with Farpoint Astro, you send them an email every day, 2 or 3 times a day is what you got to do.
Oh, I think Farpoint Astro.
Aren't they moving?
They just put a big email blast doing a moving sale. Everything 50, like a lot of things 50% off.
50% off. Yeah.
So
can I tell you something? Read between the lines on that.
we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Yeah, so he's asking for what email address?
For them, just you're just going to have to just go to
Order
the website.
support.
Yeah, and literally, Doug just resigned his position there. He retired on last Friday, so it was his last day there. Doug Williams. So he's gone, and I don't know who is there now, but believe me, you need to become the squeaky wheel. You need to send an email every day. I would do it 3 or 4 times a day.
What is he waiting for?
He put an order in for something from Farpoint Astro, and I just saw him post right here, and I was just thinking,
Not like a
I know
JMI, not something from JMI, right?
well, well, he says he'll drive down there. Yeah, if you're close, I would recommend driving down there. Yeah, I mean, they are just a skeleton crew now of what they once used to be. I wish I could tell you more, but I can't.
No, he just said he ordered Astrodons.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Get your money back.
Call. Drive down there, knock on the door if you have to.
Dylan, get your money back. Believe me, get your money back. Do not send any money because you won't get your Astrodons. Trust me. I'll be honest with you. You will not do that. Get your money back.
Well, that's again, let's talk about that offline, Dylan, if you want to talk about that. So but we do have 2 giveaways we got to do. It's $9.50. So why don't we do that? Because the Camera Concepts winner for Wednesday night, I sent an email, it came back undeliverable. So and I just want to throw something out there to everybody. Something come before we do that. It came up in the Discord, and I think we floated this idea around before, and I want to know what the members think about it. And if you're in the Discord, chime up on that. But you know what? If you're in the chat, you can chime up there too. But I was thinking, we were talking about a Discord channel. Somebody throwing out some triad filters or some other type of filter or another scope or some sort of camera or something like that. Is anybody interested in possibly doing some sort of Astro fund, let's say, that everybody's got to put in something, not like you put in $5 and you get this, but you got to put in whatever. Like if it's a filter, you got to put in $30. If it's something, you put in $50. Or if it's a camera, maybe we put in $100. But if we pool our money and then get the item and send it out to the people that put the money into it and travel it around to test it out.
Okay.
So like
a testing opportunity.
Yeah. So like if us 3 put in for a filter $100 each, I get it for a month, you get it for a month, Pete gets it for a month, test it out, do whatever, and then send it off to the next person.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something that I was floating around on on the Discord. There was some interest to it, and I'd throw it out there and see if anybody likes it. But anyway, yeah, I'll put Pete. I'll put you and Dylan in contact.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So let's get on to the giveaways. So let's do the first one first. We're gonna do the Camera Concepts giveaway, and we got no, go away. Sorry, Gary, you didn't win. But here is a lot of people were added to the wheel. We added another 23 people to the wheel. So
wow.
Yeah, so Camera Concepts is at 129 right now. So here we go for $50 to Camera Concepts. Oh, I got a share. There we go.
Oh my God.
Joe Hunt.
All right.
Let me write that down to Joe Hunt. I could say something, but I'll keep it G-rated. Joe Hunt. Another person I know, his brother. We'll just keep it at that. $50 CCTS. And we'll do Joe Hunt. Congratulations. I'll send you an email and you can fill out the information and do the we'll get you your $50 to Camera Concepts. There you go.
Congrats, man.
And then we got the IP for AP. All right, we got 146 on this one. And here we go. Free Masters of Pixinsight Workshop. MOP goes to Michelle Girard. Michelle Girard. And you will get an email as well from me and follow-up email from Pete Proul from Masters of Pixinsight. So congratulations to those two. Look out for email, and hopefully it's deliverable, and we won't have to do it again. There you go.
DB's he's out. He's going to build an observatory tomorrow, so good luck to him.
Are you coming over? Oh, I thought you were coming to my house. I guess not. Oh, you already left.
Yeah, he already left. He already left, man. You're behind.
Well, I thought I'd get him, but I think the observatory right now. Oh, image of the week. Thank you, Dave. Oh man, we didn't do that either. So image of the week, absolutely. You guys got to keep me on point. You got to keep me on point.
I guess so, man.
I gotta write my list again. I gotta go back to writing my lists again. So image of the week. All right. So let me share my screen because I don't even know. I haven't even looked at it all week. So let's see. All right. Let's see. We'll get Pete off there. Hold on a second. We'll get there we go. And we do that. All right. So picture of the week. Let's go into the AstroWorld live site and see what we had. So here are the pictures of the week. Image contests. There we go. We had some really good pictures, actually. All right. So pictures of the week for January 20th. So we had the Greg Meyer Spider and Fly Nebula. I love that one. I think that's pretty cool. Then you got Able 85. Tom and Pete Tom, Peter, and Sean Nielsen collaboration.
Yeah.
And the Dumbbell Nebula. I don't believe this one had a name on it. No, it doesn't.
No, but it was done in Brisbane.
Yep,
in Australia.
Yep. And Chris Frickson, Needle Galaxy. 27 votes.
All right.
So let's go to the admin site and see what we got here. YO people. There we go. And image of the week, January 20th. 27 votes. We could do better than that, guys. Come on.
We can definitely do better than that. Come on, guys.
We had more than that watching tonight. If everyone would have voted tonight.
Yeah.
Voting just ended 27 minutes ago. So, but anyway, here we go. You ready?
What do we got? Yep.
All right.
What do we
Here
get?
you go. Able 85. Able 85, the Tom Peter and Sean Nielsen collaboration. So just right behind, by 3 votes behind was Chris Frickson, Greg Meyer with 7, and the Dumbbell Nebula for 1. So 40.74% of the votes went to Able 85. So congratulations, and we'll put that on the website tomorrow.
Yes. Our latest contestant for Picture of the Month.
Pretty cool. Able 85. 85.
Yes, cool.
IOTW. Awesome. All right, cool. So great presentations, guys. I mean, really, really good.
Yeah.
Next week, we'll talk about next week after, just really quick after the show, if we could just sit down and talk about what we're doing next week.
Sure.
And then we'll put it on. I'll put it on the an email blast and all that kind of stuff. So if you notice, we hit I think we hit 40 watchers tonight.
Yeah.
Right before this, remember that email list that I made of like 300 astronomy clubs? I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but I put this show out to all 300. And maybe we picked up 5 or 6 members there. So who knows?
Nice.
I would like to get their individual email blasts so I can kind of do it, but I don't want to bug people. I don't want to be a spammer. But hey,
Yeah, no, you don't. No, you don't want to be that. Don't be
I think we saw 40, but I could be wrong. It was definitely in the high 30s again. So
all right. Well, another new moon
and another
full of
cloudy
clouds.
night for New York. Yep. It was supposed to clear up after 8 o'clock tonight. I'm going to be really PO'd if I go outside after the show and it's clear, because I'm just going to be too effing tired to put the scope out right now. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry.
I mean, because I'm looking at windy right now, and yeah, it's all clouds.
Is it? Now you're gonna make me look. Windy. And well, of course, here you go. So I'll put Levittown. Here you go. So if we were East Long Island, it looks like East Long Island looks very nice. So that little flashy dot right there, that's me. And there you go. So here's me, the little dot.
Yep.
And here's the rest of Long Island.
Here's the rest of Long Island. Yep.
There's a nice line right by my house where it's everything's clear to the east and everything's cloudy to the west of me. So yep. I'm screwed. So that's it for me.
Yep. That's it.
If you look at Eric, let's see where Eric is.
If you go,
I'm trying to get to you. And you're around here somewhere.
Yeah, so if you scroll, go towards Rockford. Just keep going in, because we're towards the center. If you were at the epicenter, so go west, go northwest, and then you'll see. So scroll down. So scroll in right there. Nope, you're at the very top. You see Rockford. Go left. Go to your right. Go to your right. Just keep moving to your right.
Oh, I got it.
Keep going. There you are. Yeah. So if you go a little bit further over, now if you go a little further back out, go a little further over, and you'll see Belvedere. So go back in.
I got it.
Right there. So go up. Yep, there we are. So that's me.
So Belvedere. Yeah, you're a mess.
Yeah, we're a mess. Yeah, we're a mess. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Hey.
It's just, yeah.
So much for that.
Yeah, exactly, man. So much. I was so looking forward to it. It looked so promising earlier this week.
It looked great.
And yeah, it looked great.
It looked great for me too. I looked it up this morning. It said, okay, up to 5 o'clock looks like crap. And then at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, it's gonna be clear. So I was gonna set the telescope. I got home from work. I was gonna set the telescope up, and I'm looking around and I'm like, this ain't gonna clear up, man. This is thick cloud cover. I see a cloud deck all the way in the north, but I'm like, yo, this is not good. But what are you gonna do? So the next,
and it's gonna be this way because when I fast forward through the week and everything and check, it doesn't look good at all.
Let's see. So if I look at Astrospheric really quick, creating forecast for Long Island. Ooh, tomorrow night might look good. And then Sunday looks like crap.
Yeah.
Monday might look good. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. My whole weekend looks like
Yeah, the weekend shot for me. That means I can make this video finally with my new video card.
Yeah, there you go.
Rock and roll. All right. So final thoughts, everybody?
No, it was a good show. I mean, going back and doing these presentations, I really enjoy doing these on Fridays, and looking forward to doing a little more work, doing some work maybe over this weekend or over the week, and maybe doing something similar. So I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to find topics. Pete?
Oh, just a great show as always. It was a great presentation, Eric. It was a perfect segue following Eric on his catalogs. So I'm hoping that the viewer membership likes this because, as we were talking about, Dan, we can definitely start to do this here. What we're thinking about maybe doing once a month we do these.
Well, no, we're going to be doing it twice a month. And then the fourth Friday of the month will be a member night, so a member presentation.
Yep. And then we have a critique.
The second Friday is a critique night, and the first and third will be topic nights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So really, what we should start to do then is we should start to reach out to viewer membership and ask them how many would like to be on the show here for that duration.
Yeah, well, Josh Kovac volunteered for the first one this coming Friday. So,
yeah.
So I'm sure Ernie would be happy to jump on. I'm sure that Dylan would probably jump on. So, if you want to be on, hit me up on email and let me know because Dylan said he's in. So Dylan, let me know when you want to. Billy, anybody, whoever wants to do a presentation and hang out with the show guys and girls. Hopefully Jesse will be here on a Friday. We could do it. So Jessie was very upset that she couldn't make it tonight. Apparently there were 3 fights in the school where she teaches, and she was yelling and screaming at people and she had no voice. So she couldn't be on the show.
Kids, man.
You can wear anything you want, Dylan, as long as it's G-rated, okay?
This is a family show.
More or less, it's a family show. I know. I don't want no sweet transvestite, what's his name from, what is it? What was that? I'm a sweet transvestite Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Rocky Horror Picture Show, yeah.
Yeah. And believe it or not, that same guy that played Sweet Transvestite played the original It. Don't figure that out.
Yeah.
How many F words do you get in a G-rated movie? All right. So, Tom, for critique, XISF would be good. I could open that up here. That's fine. If you want really heavy critique, send the project file so we can see the entire history of the picture. Tim Curry. Yep, it was Tim Curry. Yep. XISF or TIFF is fine. All right. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. We'll be nice. Actually, they'll be nice. I won't. So you got we got Paula Abdul, we got Nicole Scherzinger, and I'll be what's his face. Y'all laughed at mine. I didn't laugh. No, we didn't laugh at anybody's. No, we don't laugh at anybody's picture. Simon Higgins. No. There you go. We never laughed at a picture. We might have said, "Damn, that's messed up," but we never laughed at anything. Yeah, Simon Cowell, Peter. Simon Cowell. What did you do, Norman? I don't remember. You must have done something.
Yeah, you did mine. LOL. I was like, we laughed at yours.
That was not nice. If we did laugh at yours, I apologize.
Yeah.
Oh, when we submitted our worst pictures. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
and that,
Oh,
you know,
that's allowed.
That's
Then
different.
I mean, come on,
that's different.
come
That's
on. You know, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, Newman. I'm sorry. I love this community. It's great. You know, nobody takes everything
is.
to heart. It's really, really good. You know, that, you know,
Yeah, really don't. Yes, please, never take me seriously.
no. And just remember what we say all the time. It doesn't matter what we say on the show as the host of the show. It doesn't matter at all. It really doesn't. It matters what you think as this is the picture that I like, and I'm throwing it out there, you know, and that is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Some people have $25,000 mounts and $13,000 or $14,000 telescopes, and the pictures suck. And some people have a red cat on a star tracker that takes a better picture than the guy with the, you know, L500 mount with a Tech 160 on it or whatever, you know. So I mean, well, you probably wouldn't do that because it would smash. But you know what I'm saying. When you're spending that kind of, you know, it's kind of like me. I'm the golf guy. I'm the guy that comes up with the hat, with the vest, with the $4,000 clubs, you know, a motorized wheel cart where I can control with a remote control. Get up there to the club. Get up there on the driving green, and you know, sit there and take awesome practice swings. Get up with my $700 or $800 driver and swing, and the freaking club goes further than the ball, and the club goes flying. You know, and you see me cursing and stomping with the cleats. You know, so you know, it sometimes it's not the car, it's the driver. You know what I'm saying? So just remember that. A person with all the experience and processing experience in the world will destroy the person that puts $100,000 into a rig and knows nothing. That's as true as I could get, I think.
Yep, absolutely, Dan. That is so true.
You know,
Man, I just did a
Not Nero.
I'm not saying that one. I'm not saying it.
Wait a
I'm not saying that one. Man, if the Washington football team had to change their name, I'm not saying that comment.
All right. On
Anyway,
that note,
absolutely.
It's been a great show.
It's
great
always
show.
a lot of fun.
It is. You guys have a lot. Yeah, we always have fun. But great show, guys. It was a lot of fun. Please don't forget, you know, to vote for pictures of the week. You know, those come in on Mondays. You know, you lock those in. That's the deadline is Monday at midnight. So if you want to get your picture out there onto to get it voted upon, to get it in maybe picture of the month so you can get it onto this upcoming year's calendar, go for it. You know, please do. And we just ask everybody vote. You know,
yeah, we could do a lot more than 27 votes. I mean,
we can definitely. And
I want to know what happened with that 1 week that we had 120 something votes. Somebody must have had their whole family voting.
Yeah, I don't know, not sure, but it may have paid off for that.
Yeah, so pictures go in by end of the day Monday, and then voting continues starting Tuesday, all the way through till 9:30 on Friday.
Yeah.
So. All right, cool. Very good. All right, everybody, have a good night. I'm going to have some fun putting this together, and maybe tomorrow night testing out the Knicks. Be good. And then mailing a whole slew of calendars. So we sold 30 calendars so far. So I mean, they're all gone.
It's awesome.
So
loving it.
Gotta order more. I will order more, and everybody buys some calendars because it helps support the channel. All the money goes back into the kitty to get more presents and stuff for everybody. Maybe we could get Eric a green screen that works. You know, some lights.
Yeah, maybe.
But anyway, all right, we're done.
Hey,
Have a good
I'm
night,
just
everybody.
thinking about Eric. When does that Christmas tree come down?
When my son comes home.
Yep. That's what he said
When
last
my
time.
son, when my son comes home from his service, from his time in the Air Force. So just want to have a little something. I'm not putting it back together.
No.
Because trust me, once he gets home and he opens up these gifts, I think within that hour he could open them up and it's coming all down.
That's not a live tree though, right?
Oh,
okay. I'm just saying, it's going to be looking like the Charlie Brown Christmas. It's
that'd be pretty sad.
It's starting to kind of lift. Have you noticed that? It's starting to kind of lift at the top there.
It's like Leaning Tower of Pizza, man. Pizza.
Oh yeah, my little frillies up there and whatever. Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, you guys have a good weekend.
All right, guys.
And
yes.
Have a good night, everybody. And remember, as always, to keep imaging.
Josh, forget the wheel.
Yep,
the wheel is done.
And clear skies. And we'll see you later. We'll see you Wednesday night with who is it? Stocks. Craig Stocks.
Craig Stocks.
Yeah, Craig Stocks coming on. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So don't miss that show. Everybody have a good night.
Great weekend,
Take care.
everybody.
Great weekend. Goodbye, guys.
See ya.